about the role of vegetarianism in your own life?
So, I mean, like, first because my teacher, Kankyur Moshe, was a very strict vegetarian for a reason that I may explain. I was inspired by that, and also not just to take example on him, but also because of the deep reason that suddenly became obvious to me. I'd already given up fishing, and I never hunted in my life. I did fish a little bit when I was young in Brittany because but then when I was 13, suddenly it just boomed in my mind that how can I do something like that, which is totally avoiding to put yourself in the place of the other. And then at 20, I gave up eating meat, which is now 46 years ago. But the main reason is, for me, is quite clear. You know, the heart of the Buddhist path is compassion. That means to value others. If you value others, you value their well-being and you're concerned by their suffering.
Challenge to you as an actress. It was fun to do the Woody Allen picture for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I like doing something personally and I think like most actors, I think, well, I personally prefer parts that require me to change, even if it's a superficial sort of physical change. And even if it means, like, for instance, an accent, I find it easier to act with accents because it gives you an immediate way into a character. If you get the sound of a character right, then it tends to bring the rest of the character with you.
I want to ask you about that in a second, because I read that the accent that you had to develop for Margaret's Museum was one of the most difficult accents of all to acquire. But now, when a picture such as The English Patient comes out, and you're not in it, do the critics notice your absence? Do they ever write about you?
Oh, they have not so much in The English Patient, but in other sort of period costume dramas, they sort of say so-and-so's playing the Helena Bonham Carter role, you know. But basically, I think, you know, that's when they're sort of, it's a young, you know, ingenue actress, usually Kate Winslet or something. Right. But, you know, I've hit 30, so I think the old...
big hit.
Well, big hit. Well, I'm an aging ingenue. I've read that lately.
Oh, have you?
That was the latest description in some article, that I'm a geriatric ingenue. And frankly, I don't really mind, because I prefer playing... I think the parts will get better, I hope. You know, that's another story about women's parts and things and everything, but on the whole, I didn't really enjoy playing those ingenues. And
now, in manufacture, it happens of its own, but you can allow for it. You can create the circumstances where it's more likely. So, for example, if you're facing a creative problem, and you know, we're rebranding, and we have to come up with a new logo, something like that, whatever it may be. First, you pursue it as diligently and as broadly as you can, gather whatever information you might need. Really fill your brain with that. Okay. But then the next step is really paradoxical. Then you let it go. And the reason you let it go is that when you're very focused on, okay, what's our logo going to be, on whatever the problem is, you've activated the left half of the brain, which is task-oriented. And there's two things about the left hemisphere. One is that it excludes other things to focus on the task at hand, the focus at hand. The other is that it doesn't have many connections to other parts of the brain as compared to the right hemisphere. When you let go, you turn the problem over to the right hemisphere. Right hemisphere daydreams, it's a source of creativity. And it also has very far-flung connections throughout the brain. And the innovative aha arises when original connections are made. And they're more likely to happen during that reverie state, you know, in the shower, while you're walking the dog, doing yoga, rather than when you're sweating trying to solve the problem. And so the aha occurs when you let yourself go into a reverie after having pursued the problem.
I'm Armstrong Williams. Our guest is Dr. Maya Angelou. How in the world did you learn to speak so many languages? And how many languages did you speak? Because you're self-taught, you're self-educated.
But everybody's self-educated.
You have an ear for languages.
I do. But then more than that, I have an eye and soul for the human being. Languages are just devices human beings use to tell other human beings how they feel. That's all they are. There's no mystique. A person says, I'm hungry, I'm cold. Where can I find a parking space? Where are the restrooms? I need a job. Those are the same things people say in Peking, Beijing, and in Pekin, Ohio. In Dallas, Texas, Paris, Texas, and Paris, France. Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham, England. Same thing. So when I meet somebody who speaks a different language, I say, how did you say that? And would you tell me, show me? And so I try it. And I'm just a human being, and the other person is just a human being, so what? So I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
You know, you have a chair at Winston-Salem. You also had an event recently.
You're one of the more, the reason we asked is you're one of the more down-to-earth people. Even as we interviewed you all the way through the Oscar process, you're not caught up in the whole Hollywood thing.
No. I mean, because it's not about, to me, it's not about, you know, making heaps of money and being famous. And in fact, quite the opposite. I really would work for nothing, and I don't particularly want to be famous. The sort of financial side of it, to me, is an absolute bonus, and it means that I can take care of people that I love. I mean, I can help out my family a lot and things like that, and help out friends who are often, you know, totally desperate and things. But no, it's about work, and I love it. I love acting so much, and just consider myself so lucky that, you know, that the work is consistent, or certainly seems to be at the moment, and still carry that mentality of, well, you know, it's great today, but tomorrow I might not be in work. So seize the day and get on with it. That's what I say.
In other words, if my sense of identity is based on what I have, on my possessions, if I can say I am what I have, then the question arises, what am I if I lose what I have? Therefore, the sense of identity based on what I have is always threatened. A person is anxiously concerned of not to lose what he has, because he doesn't lose just what he has, he loses his sense of self. If I feel I am what I have and I have nothing anymore, then I am not. And that sense of identity, which is based on to be, is entirely different, because that can never be taken away from me, except if I'm insane or in some peculiar circumstances. I feel, I see, I love, I'm sad. All these human experiences, which can be expressed in verbs, are human activities which are not dependent, which cannot be lost or destroyed. And therefore, the person whose sense of identity is based on what he is, that is to say, on the expression of his inner faculties, potentialities in the world, or in that sense in what he does, but does not in an outward sense, he does not have the anxiety to lose himself because something may be taken away from him. He is really free from that danger. It's perfectly clear to me.
Look at these things.
Yeah, I ran and I fought zombies in these shoes.
You could spike a zombie right in the skull with those things.
I feel like I'm going to fall off of these, but thank you for getting that money shot.
You like that?
No, I'm going to take them off, and I'm down here.
Yeah, so you're doing calves today? Is that what I hear?
What?
You're doing
Yeah.
calves?
This is my calves day. This is calves day, yeah. Tomorrow's going to be, you know, like arms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll be lifting and curling zombies.
Just joking. There is no workout happening in these. It's just torturous death devices. I don't know who invented these and why I'm wearing them.
They look good.
Yeah, thank you.
They make your legs look long and supple.
Well, jeez Louise, I thought it was an interview.
I thought
it was an interview.
How is it for you playing with the boys?